G-Roll Electronic Productions, baby.
Welcome to Democ Republics, where we cover the real news that matter to we the people. Wuhan scientists genetically manipulated coronavirus, Congressional report says. Investigators say virus likely leaked from Chinese lab during 2019. We went over this in February of 2020. That was we talked about how we believe that the virus leaked from the Wuhan lab. If you look in the playlist that we have, the coronavirus playlist, it should be like right at the beginning of the coronavirus playlist. Y'all can check it out. But some of the reports we did on that. But go ahead and share this out. Share this out. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, that like button. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get into this article here. Something that we reported on again back in February of 2020. All right, Chinese scientists manipulated lethal viruses under unsafe conditions at the Wuhan Institute of Virology prior to the coronavirus outbreak, fueling suspicion the pandemic was caused by a lab leak, according to a new congressional report. And this is no longer just a crazy conspiracy theory now. The majority of the people believe that it was actually created in the Wuhan lab. Now, for nefarious reasons, is a little bit different. People believe a little bit differently. I believe it was nefariously. I believe they leaked it on purpose to try to destroy the United States economy. But the article goes on to say that the Wuhan lab was engaged in dangerous genetic modification research on coronaviruses at unsafe biosafety levels, according to the report authored by the minority staff of the House of Foreign Affairs Committee. The report includes revelations about unsafe working conditions at the lab, as well as new information indicating that the Chinese government sought to mislead the world about the experiments taking place there, and that's true, obviously true. Congressional investigations say researchers at the lab had the ability to genetically modify coronaviruses as early as 2016 without leaving any trace of that modification. And we reported on that also. They can make the manipulations, and anyone and scientists can look at it and they have no idea that it was actually modified. Copper Skies, what's going on, Copper Skies? Copper Skies says, Copper Skies in the house. Is that reverse play of Big Girls Don't Cry in your intro? Yeah, I'm surprised you noticed that. Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised you noticed that, Copper Skies. I make beats. I like making beats. It's something I do in my free time. Helps calms me down. It's one of my coping skills. I'm a therapist, so y'all might hear me talk about coping skills a lot. But yeah, that's one of my coping skills. I make beats, and I took Big Girls Don't Cry, and I did it. I used that song a couple times. One of the beats I made, I reversed it, and I think that's the one you're talking about. I'm surprised you noticed that. Yeah, I reversed it, and then I got another beat where I used Big Girls Don't Cry, and I think I used the Don't Cry part, and I kind of mixed it and played with it a little bit. But yeah, thanks, Copper Skies. And if y'all interested in my music, you can check me out on look up J-Roll Electronic on YouTube. I really haven't put much of my music on there. I got a couple songs on Spotify. A couple albums on Spotify. But that was some of my earlier songs. I done got a lot better since then. My newer stuff I haven't really put out there yet because I'm looking for some rappers and singers to jump on them first. But back to the article. Thanks for that, Copper Skies. Mounting evidence suggests that the coronavirus that is still crippling the world was accidentally released from the Wuhan Institute of Virology laboratory sometime prior to September 12th of 2019, according to the report. What the report said, it was accidentally released, but how do we know it was accidentally released though? You know, we have no way of knowing that it was accidentally released or not. And given the timing of it, I don't think it was an accident. It is incumbent upon the United States and like-minded countries around the world to ensure accountability and implement the reforms necessary to prevent the CCP's malfeasance from giving rise to a third pandemic during the 21st century. The information unearthed by congressional Republicans led by Rep. Michael McCall from Texas, the House Foreign Affairs Committee ranking member, is likely to increase pressure on the U.S. government to sanction China and hold it accountable for the coronavirus outbreak. But, I mean, you can put pressure on him, but we all know Biden is not going to pressure, he is not going to sanction China because China owns him. They have the emails that we haven't seen from Hunter Biden, and they also have they got Biden by his gonads. You know, they own the Bidens, so we're not gonna sanction China. I don't see it happening. McCall and his colleague are recommending the Biden administration also demand a full-scale overhaul of the World Health Organization, which they say aided China in its cover-up. And remember, Trump had stopped sending funds to the World Health Organization. And one of the first things that Biden did when he got in office was reverse that and want to start giving money back to the World Health Organization. Even though they've been wrong on almost every account when it comes to this virus, why would you support this organization? And they were the first ones that said that it wasn't contagious in the first place. So why would you support this organization? Congressional investigators say Wuhan researchers sounded alarms on safety, on the safety of the lab environments in China in medical journals well before the virus emerged. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that. A significant number of lab projects also underwent high levels of maintenance and repairs, including on projects related to laboratory animals and hazardous waste. In 2016, French defense officials voiced concern that the lab in Wuhan would be used by China for military purposes, and that's exactly what I believe they did. They used it for. They used it as a bioweapon. Early in 2020, well after the first indications of the virus spread, Beijing dispatched People's Liberation Army brass specializing in biological weapons to manage the lab, indicating the military-grade cover-up of the virus. See, more and more stuff is adding up. If you add all this stuff together, it pretty much at the very least, they're trying to cover this stuff up. But if they got nothing to hide, if it was an accidental leak, stuff happens. That's why they call it an accident. If it was an accident, why are they hiding it? Quote, it's time to completely dismiss the wet market as the source of the outbreak. It's already been dismissed. Even people that was believed it came from the wet market originally are even saying that it didn't come from the wet market now. McCall said in a statement, quote, preponderance of the evidence proves that all roads lead to the Wuhan lab. And that's true. It is now clear that Chinese researchers were performing gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab, a process by which viruses are made more powerful in order to research potential cures, according to McCall. And we know that Fauci lied. He lied when he was speaking to Congress and said that they didn't perform any gain of function. I don't understand how these people can go before Congress and lie like that and get away with it. And no one in government is holding these people accountable. Quote, it is our belief the virus leaked sometime in late August or early September 2019, McCall said. Quote, when they realized what happened, Chinese Communist Party officials and scientists at the Wuhan lab began frantically covering up the leak, including taking their virus database offline in the middle of the night and requesting more than $1 million for additional security. Darth Note Darth Totes says hello. Hello, Darth Totes. Yes, LOL. Laughing my ass off. LOL, yes. Yes, we were. It was good, man. Yeah, it does feel good being right. But it's more about being right. I just want to get the information out there, really. Even if I was wrong with this whole thing, I'm different from, the mainstream news. If I was wrong, I'll come out and say I was wrong with this stuff. But I just go where the research takes me. The report also singles out Peter Daszak, president of the U.S. taxpayer-funded medical organization EcoHealth Alliance, and we talked about EcoHealth Alliance and how they funded the whole thing and everything, as the chief source of misinformation about the virus's origins. Daszak organization worked at the Wuhan Institute of Virology on gain-of-function research, but the scientists later spearheaded efforts to suppress suspicions of a lab leak. Through letters drafted by scientists and public interviews. Daszak was also the only American scientist on the World Health Organization China Joint Mission Team tasked with investigating the virus and its outbreak. So that's what we have there. I have another article that has to do with that congressional report that just came out. What you say? Can I get a link, please? What you need? A link to what? A link to that article? This article? What do you need a link to? Oh, I guess you're talking about to the article. Here, I'll put the link to this article. Yeah, okay, I'll put a link to this article in. Here you go. That's the link to the article. And let's go over this. I'm about to go over a new article now, but it's the same congressional report. This is the one I'm about to go over now. Congressional report questions unusual activity at Wuhan lab involving air disinfection, hazardous waste systems. And this is just more receipts. This is just more information to that back my theory, the theory that I've been pushing since February 2020, my theory that it leaked from the Wuhan lab. This is just more evidence of that, more evidence of a cover-up. A new congressional report into the origins of COVID-19 points to unusual activities at the Wuhan National Biosafety Lab involving air disinfection and hazardous waste systems prior to the outbreak of the coronavirus. So they knew they had to disinfect the air and all that other stuff. They knew this prior. They had to know. It actually leaked from the lab. It had to leak from the lab because more and more evidence is stacking up against them. The report by Republicans on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, obtained by Fox News, highlights how the lab in Wuhan requested bids for major renovations to air safety and waste treatment systems in the facilities just 2 years after they became operational. The report notes that such a significant renovation so soon after the facility began operation appears unusual, and that it raises questions about how well these systems were functioning in the months prior to the outbreak of COVID-19. Darth Tote said, you must feel so good right now. I don't think it was a leak. I didn't think it was a leak until like June. I don't know about feeling really good. I do it because I do it for information's sake, and I do it if I notice that the mainstream media got it wrong, I just have to speak to it. It's not about me being right or me being happy that I'm correct. It's just about getting the truth out there. The report notes that it is unknown if any renovation work was ever carried out. The findings will be presented in Congress this week, where the Republicans will make the case that the preponderance, whatever that is, I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Preponderance of evidence suggests SARS-CoV-2 was accidentally released from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Republicans will also present further evidence that the virus was genetically manipulated in the lab, according to the report. The Republicans have built the case around a timeline that indicates the virus escaped the lab sometime prior to September 12, 2019. At this time, there's a record of activity such as the WIV's viral sequence database disappearing from the internet and the institute ramping up security. I mean, this is just more receipts, more evidence, more stuff to show that it did actually leak from the lab. This is just. Darth said, "Oh, I've just gotten so much pushback over the past year. That's why I'm like, finally, you know." Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it was censorship on top of censorship. Facebook was censoring people saying that it leaked from the lab. I wasn't on Facebook back then. Like, I just put Democratic Republics on Facebook a couple months ago. So I didn't get censored. I got, what do they call it? Blacklisted or delisted or something like that on YouTube. I noticed when I talk about coronavirus and stuff, it doesn't pop up as much. But yeah, I feel you with that. Like, finally, people are finally starting to talk about some of the stuff we've been talking about for a long time now. But y'all need to get this information out there. Share this out on the various platforms. Hit that like button and subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's get them subscriptions up. And let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I also have I Will Not Comply t-shirts available. I Will Not Comply t-shirts. The link is down in the description where y'all can get them. Y'all can buy those t-shirts. And let us know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrarepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time. Hold up, before I go real quick, Copper Sky said, if it is a Chinese bioweapon, Fauci helped fund via NIH grant, and more variants may be leaked. Is that why guilty conscience Fauci is pushing so hard on vaccines? No, I think he's pushing so hard on the jab because he probably got a stake in it. I'm pretty sure he owned a few patents. I know, especially pertaining to HIV, he owned a few patents to that medicine also. I don't trust anything that Fauci says or do. But yeah, that's it for that. But leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrarepublics.com.